From a spiritual perspective, both silence and speech are not just actions or states, they are gateways, they are teachers, they are medicine. Each has its own vibration, its own timing, and its own sacred function in your soul's journey. Let's begin with silence. In many traditions, from mystic Christianity to Buddhism, silence is not an empty void. It's a womb, a sacred space where transformation happens. Silence is the ground where spirit speaks. It is where the ego softens and the soul steps forward. When we enter silence intentionally, not as a way to avoid, but as a way to be with what is, we begin to experience a deeper truth, a truth that doesn't need words to validate itself. Think of all the times you've felt something deeply but couldn't explain it. A knowing, a grief, a love, a shift. That is the space where silence holds you. Silence sharpens your intuition. It dissolves illusion. It allows you to listen not just with your ears, but with your energy. Many spiritual teachers consider silence as a form of communion with the divine. In silence, we hear the voice of the higher self. In silence, we meet the parts of ourselves that have been silenced. But silence is not always gentle. Sometimes it brings discomfort because it confronts us with the things we've avoided. It brings up the grief we buried, the fears we numbed, the truths we were too scared to say out loud. Yet, even in that discomfort, silence is sacred because it teaches us how to hold space for ourselves. But silence is only half of the story. Communication is not just about expression, it's about energy transference. Every word you speak carries vibration, intention, and a certain frequency. In spiritual terms, communication is alchemy. When done consciously, it becomes a healing tool for connection, for understanding, for evolution. The throat chakra governs expression. When this chakra is open and balanced, our words flow from clarity, truth, and compassion. When we speak our truth, not from anger or defensiveness, but from grounded awareness, we clear energy. We release what's been stuck. We clarify what's been confused. We name what's been hidden. And naming is a spiritual act because it brings light to what has been living in the shadow. Spiritual communication doesn't mean perfect language. It means honest, conscious language. It means asking, is what I'm saying in alignment with love? It is serving connection or separation. Am I speaking to be heard or to be real? And here is something vital. Sometimes communication is what protects the soul. Saying no, setting a boundary, asking for what you need. That too is spiritual. Because protecting your energy is sacred, and using your voice to honor your truth is a spiritual revolution. There is an art, a spiritual intelligence in knowing which to choose and when it is time to sit in stillness, when it is time to speak your heart. Silence is not always the high road. Sometimes it's avoidance, and speaking is not always healing. Sometimes it's reaction. That's why spiritual discernment is so important. Ask yourself, am I using silence as a refuge or as a wall? Am I using words to liberate or to control? And most importantly, what does my intuition tell me right now? Trust that. Let it guide you. So, to you, the one listening, the one growing, the one healing. Remember that both silence and speech are your allies on this journey back to yourself. Silence teaches you presence, and communication teaches you embodiment. Together, they create balance. They harmonize your inner world and your outer expression. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just stay curious, stay honest, and stay present. And whether you are sitting in silence today or speaking your truth, know that it is all part of your spiritual unfolding. Keep walking your path gently and powerfully.